Good day, sir. My name is Xing Lee, metric number 292935, and today I will present the research assignment about the trade-off between part-time jobs and academic outcome among UM students, and also how the time factor, financial factor, and employability factor affect the academic performance. The purpose of this study was to examine the trade-off between part-time work and academic outcomes among UM students and how time factors, financial factor, and employability factors affect the academic performance. This research will first discuss the background and context of part-time jobs and academic outcome, followed by an exploration of the research problem, question, and objective, and finally address the significance of the study. In this background, show that students in Malaysia work while studying in university. They mostly do part-time job because they need more extra money to cover their living expenses. The reason among all the students doing part-time job is try to earn the extra money, gain working experience, and also maybe meet more new friends. In this research, we have 4RQ and 4RO. First is the demographic characteristic of student at UUM. Second is the gender difference influence the time factor, financial factor, and employability factor that will affect the academic performance. Third, financial support difference influence the IV that affect the DV. And last, all the IV correlate with DV. The significance of study helps students better understand whether their academic performance is affected by part-time work. Okay, in chapter 2, literature review, we have time factor, financial factor, employability factor, and academic performance factor. That is IV and also DV in the theoretical review and empirical review. In time factor, it means how students use the time wisely. Like example, if they have enough time on study, then they will get the good result. For financial factor, financial refer more to income and budget constraint. Like if people didn't have any financial stress, then they will have a good performance in study. For the employability factor, it describes like the skill and attribute that individuals possess that make them attractive to employer. Last, for the academic performance, it links to academic success. In this chapter 3, research method. In research method, we have research framework, research design, and questionnaire design. In this research, we use quantitative approach and descriptive research methodology. In source of data, mostly we use primary data to do this research. For the questionnaire design, we separate it to, we have 5 sections, and then we separate it to become A, section B, section C, D, and E. For section A, there is demographic. Section B, time factor. Section C, financial factor. Section D, employability factor. And the last, section E, academic performance. Chapter 4, demographic background. In this chapter, I use SPAS to analyze the data. Now I will present the outcome of the study. In this demographic background, we have 200 respondents in this study that they have 56 male students and 144 female students. Besides that, in this demographic also include age, faculty, current GPA, and also financial support. After analyze all the data in SPAS, then we will continue to do the descriptive statistic. In descriptive statistic, the mean of the time factor is 3.9745. The mean for financial factor is 4.10. 4.90. Then for the employability factor is 4.2295. And last, the mean for the performance factor is 4.0305. Uh, After finish doing the descriptive statistic, we will proceed to hypothesis testing. We will set two hypotheses. One is hypothesis 0A, another one is hypothesis 1A. Uh, Hypothesis 0 is no significant difference, and then hypothesis 1 mean there is a significant difference. In independent t-test, the independent sample t-test between gender and time factor and between gender and financial factor have a significant difference. So HOA should be rejected and HOB also should be rejected. In independent sample t-test between gender and employability factor, they have no significant difference. Hence, HOC should not be rejected. Next, the one-way ANOVA. We try to conduct to determine whether there is a significant relationship between financial support and those three IV: time factor, financial factor, and employability factor. Same with t-test ANOVA. Same with t-test ANOVA, we also set two hypotheses, which is hypothesis 0 is not significant and hypothesis 1 is significant. The result of ANOVA of time factor and employability factor among financial support show there are no significant difference. The p-value of time factor is 0.158, which bigger than 0.10, and p-value for employability factor is 0.141, which also bigger than 0.10. For the result ANOVA of financial factor among financial support show there is a significant difference, which p-value is 0.025, which is smaller than 0.10. Last is the multiple regression analysis. The equation for the multiple regression is y equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta x3 x3 plus the error terms. So the y represent to academic performance, beta 0 represent intercept, and then beta 1 until beta 3 represent the IV, time factor, financial factor, and the employability factor. In multiple regression, we will know how the IV affect the DV academic performance. So in this session, the coefficients of time factor and financial factor are 0.328. For employability factor is 0.026. All the factor IV are 0.000 except the employability factor 0.001, but we can also assume it as 0. Then all the IV have significantly positive correlate with the academic performance. Last, chapter 5, discussion and conclusion. So for the discussion of the findings, the main purpose of this analysis is to examine the impact of the independent variables, the IV, time factor, financial factor, and the employability factors on the DV, the academic performance. Discussion, the implication of the study and also the limitation of the study. Uh, the implication of the study for government, shop owner, and school, so can make sure can let them pay more attention on the reason and difficult that student working on part-time job. For the limitation of study, uh, this research only use 200 respondents, but not the World Malaysia University's student. And also in this research, they have bias for this result, not really uh, real for this result. Next, many respondents didn't give uh, a very good cooperation in this research. For the future research, we should consider expanding the scope of study, add more questions, and focusing on whether part-time work is related to the student owns major. Last, for the conclusion, in conclusion, this study investigate the impact of three independent variables: the IV, time factor, financial factor, and the employability factor on the dependent variable academic outcome. In short, this study achieved the experimental objective. Thank you.